Okay, so this was probably the craziest one that I saw going around, and it's stepmom justifies exposing breast to kids because she's a feminist, and she got charged with a sex crime. So
one for the boys.
Yeah, one for the boys. That would be fun.
They saw a titty and she's a sex criminal.
Yeah, they get rid of her and they got to see the titties. So
You think it was a bad titty though?
she was arrested in. Hell yeah. It's not a hot feminist. This isn't like Mila Kunis.
Yeah. It's like a fucking, like where she had to like take it out with both hands, one tit. She had to remove the single tit. Flubump.
Buchanan was arrested in February after prosecutors said she exposed her breasts to her stepchildren several years ago while hanging drywall in her garage with her husband. So you look over, they're just, I don't know why the kids are there, but you basically look over, they're drywalling and you look one way, you look over.
But it wasn't one of those things where she's reaching up and not wearing a bra, you know, like that.
Yeah.
Move, and then they just hang it down to here. So
yeah, she's still got the shirt
Remember
on.
in South Park? Miss Chokes on Dick?
She's Miss Chokes on Dick. According to her, she said her and her husband both stripped down in order to not get their clothes dirty.
Excuse in the book.
That is one of those things, though, when you're like when I always say these people are making the kids are so fucked or whatever. But basically Marcus, you know what I mean, from the Feminist Mom sketch. But you look over and your parents are like, okay, come in. We're doing a family like drywall session or whatever. And you're like, can I just go hang out with my friends? No, you got it. We're doing the drywall. And
Get
blah,
your
blah.
clothes off.
Yeah.
Down your
And
undies.
then you look over, your fucking dad and your stepmom are painting naked and you go, what is my life?
Yeah, this is fucking.
You're like, this is not.
Getting so.
Although, if the mom wasn't gross and then you find out that your boy has got like a fucking decent mom that just pulls the guns out, that'd be the most popular kid in the school.
Hey, all my friends at school want to help. We could probably get this whole house drywalled in a fucking afternoon if you guys
kids
want.
Drywalling in the garage. Hey, Mrs. T, that we can drywall. You come home, your friends are helping your mom drywall.
Yeah, I can frame the house if you want, whatever you want.
She said when Buchanan's stepchildren asked why she'd taken off her shirt and bra, she explained that everyone should feel comfortable walking around topless in the privacy of their own homes with other people's kids, though.
Nightmare mom scenario right there. I mean, first off, if your mom is hot, it's like even worse. You're like, there's all this like, you're like, okay, so I want to bang my stepmom, like.
Well, if it was your stepmom and she was hot and you were like 12, I think you'd a little bit be like, nice,
yeah. I guess, right. I've never had a stepmom. I don't know that.
But if you're the kid, but
yeah, of course.
Again, but if you're the real mom, you're just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, well, yeah. If you're the real mom, you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, every time I.
And if you're that drywall,
if
like, what is going on in here?
So, yeah, she says, in the privacy of your own home. You know, it's one of those things too, where it's like the women with, we should be able to, let's push laws that we should be able to have our, tits out and all that stuff. And you go, okay. The problem is with all this stuff, and some of it's probably the arguments against the trans bathrooms or whatever, but it's like, women are just so fucking naive sometimes where you're like, yeah, I understand that you're saying step parents should be allowed to be naked in front of kids. But let me tell you, it's like, and you're right. Maybe the biggest threat isn't a pair of titties, but if we make a law that step parents can now get naked in front of their kids, it's gonna be about 15 days.
See, I find that hard that it's a tit. She got charged with a sex crime for showing her tits, not vagines.
Well, maybe the vagine was out too.
It had to be the vagina because it's like I don't think a tit is getting you fucking locked up in the corner.
Can you imagine you went home and you're drywalling, your stepdad had his dick out?
Yeah,
well, they said they both got naked.
Fully naked. I understand that, but it's like So what?
Well, she got charged, so it is illegal. So this did get charged, but the idea of like I have a stepdad. If I went into his garage and he was like, hey, you mind passing me that brush there?
You think he just has the fucking the belt on, but just naked, totally naked, like the Seinfeld?
He's got the belt and a hard hat.
Yeah, just
the hard hat with some beers in it.
Tool belt, and totally naked.
Just a mow dry in the hand. Yeah, and you go, but that's what I'm saying with people taking advantage of it. It's just like you. I could picture like so many girls I know being like, "What's the problem?" And you go, okay, I hate having to be the fucking one that's like, it's a slippery slope, but you go, if you make a law that step parents can get naked, and then they're like, well, also, why can't your aunt why can't the aunt have her tits out? And you go, Okay, sure, but the aunt probably isn't going to be the one of the aunts and uncles. Like you're like, yeah, let's make a law that uncles can be naked in front of their daughter, in front of their niece and nephew. If they make a law where you go, you're allowed to fucking pull them out in front of your niece. What's the big deal?
Yeah.
But it's the same kind of thing. I mean, that's probably less weird if you lived in a family. Like if you were like swimming or something, it's almost less weird to see an uncle or aunt maybe naked than it is to see a non-blood relative. Mm-hmm. So
yeah.
I mean, but again, they're both weird. But I can see.
Yeah, it must be the bottomless thing though.
In September, a feminist group won its legal battle to get the local city council to remove language from public nudity code, barring girls and women over the age of 10 from going topless in Fort Collins, Colorado. So a win for feminists that 11-year-old chicks can have their tits out in the town square. There was another feminist mom that was basically Marcus, and this one says, mom convinces teen son to carry tampons in case his female friends have an emergency.
The kid's gonna fucking get tons of pussy, or none ever.
Well, that was one of those things where...
But it's like, but what's the emergency? It's like where it's the actual like, oh, you have a blood, or is it? Because like, that's the thing. If you're like young, no girls ever like going to like just yelling out, does anyone have a tampon? Like they're embarrassed by it. So
but it's
like,
the mom patting herself on the back, being like, you know, all these chauvinist men running around. But this is what, you know, guess what my son
And he's
did.
like, Mom, can I get some condoms too? She's like, no. Just tampons.
Can you imagine, like, you're in high school.
Human tampon dispenser.
I'd kill if your friend. You look in his locker and he's just got like tampons.
Dude, literally,
all
if they're
out.
tampons, you got to be like, if you want to try, like, you know, appease your mom and be cool at school, then you're like, oh no, this is for vodka. I fucking dip in vodka, stick them up my ass. You know, just like the boys getting.
Oh no! These are for the dogs.
These are for the dogs. These are tampons for the girls. I mean, if the girl wanted one, she could have one, but these are for the dogs.
Yeah, that is the ultimate of like. If your mom's like, you know, and you should bring tampons for girls, and you're like, Mom, I know you're going through this like feminist thing right now, but I assure you this is not the move. I'm telling you, I have to go to that high school. You don't. You're 50 and you're going through this wacky shit. You're probably on some Facebook group where a bunch of you mothers are patting yourselves on the back for women. But it's like...
Yeah, for getting rid of the tax on fucking tampons.
I assure you that if I go to school with a box of tampons that I hand out to women in case they start bleeding, I assure you that will not make my life easy.
No.
Unfortunately, Elijah was mocked a bit by some of his male classmates. But some of the others thought it was...
I love how this is like in the news. He was mocked a bit.
He was mocked a little bit, but some of the others thought it was cool. So apparently some of the kids at school were like, yo,
some of the other,
Yo, honestly, respect, bro.
Respect, bro.
That's cool. You know, these people don't know. And then she said, my teenage boys helped me shop today, which included buying their little sister's first bra because breasts happen. So this mom's really giving herself like a pat on the back sort of situation.